So here we are gathering in the sacred space. So just take a few moments and in your own way, bless this space. Call in your teams, your galactic and world off-planet guides and teachers. We meet in the sacred ground of sovereignty. Here to be shown what we can anchor for that future that reflects and resonates the song of our home of the divine. We are the surrogates, we are the touch points for a larger network of crystal broadcasters, as well as a network on the planet of those holding the vision for our true nature, that it is manifested into our world. Let yourself get a sense or a feeling of those qualities. What is the quality that is most present for you out of all that is good? Breathe. Move that through your body into the circle. Breathe and move it down through your feet chakra into the roots of our sisterhoods. We know our voice as a soul and female body is a power for good on this planet, and we so claim. Our circle is called, it is prepared, it is set, and so it is. So let's go around and place ourselves into the circle. Of course, name we can see, but we always like to hear each other, hear each other say our names, where we are on the planet, and what it is you want to add to this field of intelligence and energy for the work today. So can we start with you, Susan?
I am Susan Therese. I'm here in Byron, Illinois. Again, a snowy morning. What do I want to bring into the field? There's this sense of excitement within the crystalline field. I did a journey and was taken to this place of ice, stillness and time. And they showed me all the fractals of each piece of ice, those snowflakes, those individual crystals within the crystals within the crystals. And they said within the still point is where the magic is, where the information, where the connection is in this amazing place of stillness. And so I want to bring in the magic of the still point, and that was a theme in last week as well in our other groups for me, coming and seeing the still point and the richness that we receive when we go into that. Every piece is unique, but yet we find ourselves in the still point, learning and connecting to all those beautiful pieces. Arlie.
I would like to bring to the circle the joy of unexpected good things. When you just don't expect a good thing and it's so big that you get that, wow, sort of feeling. What has brought this on for me is we have a house that that we haven't wanted to sell. We did want to sell, blah. Last tenant totally trashed it. Eh. We were going to have to spend yesterday going up there and getting a new kitchen put in and all this. And instead, a buyer came forward and offered us a buttwad of money for this house, as is. And they're coming down today to look over, you know, papers to make sure we're not hiding anything. And that house is sold. So how good is that when I was doing such dreading and then this plop in my lap of wonderfulness? So that's what I'm bringing. And I would like to move to Evie.
So I'm Evie Boykin, and I'm in Anacortes, Washington, and I'm all dressed up because I was telling Susan at the beginning of the call that my body is still really adapting to this change in weather and getting acclimated. I need to do that a little more gently. So the word I'm bringing it in today, and that's been a theme for me in the past week, is gentleness. And it's worked for, it's a part of my nature that I now get to embrace as much as the forcefulness of which sometimes is called for in my messaging. But I think it's something that the world really needs right now. On all different levels, and that's what's resonating with me. And I will pass this to Cinda.
I'm on my iPad, so my angle's weird because it's always tipped for me. What do I want to bring you? I'm in just south of Portland. And oh, it's so cold and crisp and wonderful. I kind of want to bring in radical acceptance, which also includes letting go of expectations. My husband was camping at our cabin in Eastern Oregon with my kids. So it was a guy's trip. And so I'm like, what are the stories? Share your stories. I want to know your stories. Well, guys don't store stories like women do, and it's always so disappointing. But then the one thing he did share was the criticism he received from the kids around our parenting. I'm like, well, how wonderful that they could open up to you, but what the hell were they meaning? Oh gosh. And I realized, you know, I find myself stuck in this middle position where I'm no longer, I'm going to put it to adult children, and they're figuring out their own lives, and my oldest is engaged, and I'm needing to now, you know, recognize and have radical acceptance that I'm not the main woman in their life anymore. So there's that. But then I also realize as they're trying to become more independent and becoming critical of the parenting my husband and I did, which I think we did a really damn good job. I realized that not only does it burn and sting a little bit, but it also makes me wonder about what kind of daughter I still am to my mother, you know, and so to learn from how my kids treat me to how maybe I can treat my mom a little bit better, not treat her poorly, but to just, you know, I'm in that in-between stage. I'm a daughter and still a mother, but yet not a daughter anymore and not a mother anymore. And just like, who am I and what am I and what am I supposed to do? There we go. Sharon.
Okay, Sharon, of course, here on Whidbey Island, and it's a little overcast and chilly, but it's been a good week so far. This is day number 1. And all of a sudden I'm going like, wait a minute, we haven't even gone very far yet. Okay, the day number 1. What I want to bring into the circle is the binding of our divine, our galactic families' original agendas. They are acknowledged, their energy is bound, secured, and flowing to us in absolute security. So that's what I'm bringing. So we on the Crystal Broadcaster, Susan and I decided we would take turns, and with one we'd really work with the Crystalline Kingdom and see with the new information, and that's been really exciting. Those of you who were on the call last week, got to hear from them and computers and Mary, and that is on the YouTube. So I'm not going to go through that. And then the other times we're going to just do the traditional going into the future to see if there's anything that we need to see either in the future or hear that the future is saying to change, whatever it is. So today we're going to do a regular I'm not time travel, but thanks, Cinda. Grace is really, it's been really important for us to acknowledge the energy of grace, bring it into our computers, and we're doing that by typing it in, by putting it on Facebook, by using what's called True Remembrance is the spray of grace. So we're using it on ourselves. We're using it on plugs before we plug things in, as her contribution to keeping the crystalline kingdom, to bringing them back to their true divine nature and stabilizing them there to be part of what is being broadcast as the good. Thanks, Cinda. So today what we're going to do is we're going to time travel and let your team take you into the future or here in the present to say, what do we need to change so that the future can be changed? Whatever it is they will do for you, but we're going to do that kind of work. And then we'll come back and report. And because we don't have newbies on the call, I'm not going to do a guided visualization. I'm just going to set the stage and let your teams take over. So, okay, here we go. So we have this circle. It is prepared. It has clear intention. We have teams that have worked with us who also are aligned to that purpose, and the plan that we are a part of is the plan that has restored our souls in every life form to our original harmonic of home, of songs of home. That's the plan we're working under. So we're here to be the voice for what needs to be added, changed, anchored, etc., for the future that we are calling forth to be present there and here. So I invite your guides to be there with you. Give them permission to come into your space, make themselves known. You are always the one to discern if anything is off, to clear that space, to keep that energy in good resonance. Now we go on that journey. What is it? What is my piece to know and do under this great plan? When you're complete, you can bring yourself back to this launching circle, take notes, and then we'll share. So I'll see you in a bit.
Well, I think you laugh because the term weaving came up. So of course I thought about weaving the world. And this is more of what needs to happen right now. And it was the metaphorical sewing and weaving of the fabrics of our being into a new cloth with our uniqueness being the embellishments and making that fabric whole and new again. And then right at the end, there was kind of a message for Mother Nature wanted to be part of that too. And she does that really well. But it's about purposefully picking up the dropped threads and the torn pieces and consciously working on pulling those together again so that it's an entire connected fabric instead of pieces. So that's what I got. Hope. I'll pass this on to Susan.
Mine was a little fractal. I spent 6 years going to Seattle and working with Tom Kenyon to learn sound healing. And so all of a sudden, I see this vision, and when I would work with clients, I would take a tuning fork, strike it, and charge it to the crystal, quartz, so that quartz crystal broadcasted that frequency in the tuning fork. I'm like, okay, so what about that? So then all of a sudden this pathway opens, the Hathors, just this beautiful highway opens, and they send me out on this pathway, and I land in Lyra. And there's this huge, beautiful field of crystals, all different color crystals. And there's tuning forks everywhere. And I start playing each crystal, and the harmonics of each one in sync, just this beautiful harmonic crystalline sound and energy. And that started flowing down to the planet, down through the cosmos. And that's what they wanted to bring in, was this harmonic of these beautiful frequencies to soothe and to heal, to restore and rejuvenate. So it's just this beautiful image, and these sounds were just amazing, because each crystal you could hear, and then they harmonized together, and you could see the pattern echoing out as it was rolling out through the cosmos. So I am complete. Harley.
Well, I was told to take a couple steps forward and look up. And when I looked up, what I saw was this gray mist-like dome, absolutely filled everywhere like mist. And I was told this is the communications network on the planet. All of the Wi-Fi and cellular phone data and the connections. It was a picture of the way all the machines are connected. And I was told that the human brain is the very best computer, and at this point, and that we do not actually need to be in physical contact with a computer or even in front of a computer to send healing to the computers, that we can plug our computer into the communication system and send our healing energies, messages of grace, all of that out that way, anywhere we are. So like a walking meditation down the street just can heal your computer. Then the other thing, I was gazing at the mist again, and suddenly I saw the personification of a sad computer, which looked very cartoony, but I knew what it was. And I was told that this was a computer that was infected with malware, that computers do not like that because they are, I don't want to say sentient being, but let's use that term. And I was told that we can send the PTO after that malware and ask the PTO to take a look at what's happening there and to get rid of it. And I was shown that part of the reason why we can do that is because there's a human behind the malware that's in our computers, but that's not the whole reason why the PTO might be able to do something about the negativity that malware causes. And again, and I keep getting this, the word salt came up. Think about the salt. Think about the salt. And as I've said, at least for the last 3 crystal broadcastings, you know, salt is a crystal. It's absolutely everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And again, I got this message, think about the salt. Maybe it's the salt in our blood. Maybe it's, I mean, salt is an intrinsic part of being alive. Without salt, you die. So because of all of the electrical happenings inside the body, you have to have the charge that's on salt to make all these heartbeats and kidney transfers and all this happen. So salt, whatever it is, guys, salt. And I am done. So, Cinda?
So I was trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And I saw the representation of the 7 divine families, and I could sort of get a peek into each of them. And I saw my 4 guides who last time they showed up, they were assigned or they found each of their divine family members. And so I go, oh, you're not going to be able to see it. Oh, you're not going to. Anyway, here they are: Einstein, Cronkite, Wayne Dyer, and my dad. Anyway, Kelly made that for me. She put my team together, so they're all in one picture. I'm so happy. Anyway, so there they were, and they were really busy. They were really busy, and they were so happy. They were so happy, and they were having so much fun. And they were waving at me, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's going so well. It is going so well. All is well. It is going so well." And I really felt like I wasn't too far into the future. It seemed like fairly recent, you know, like not quite today, but not too far away. And then they said, "Look, look, look." And they turned around, and I saw these, what closest thing I could think of is these spaceships that just sort of started to come around and circle the earth. And they were glowing beams of light down to the planet. And out of them were coming all these amazing ascended masters. But each ship was assigned to one of the divine families. And these were assigned ascended masters that were, so like Mother Mary came, and she's joy. So there was Mother Mary that came to the earth, and there's Jesus, and he's peace. And there was, you know, I mean, so they just, St. Francis showed up, and Mary Magdalene showed up. And I mean, they were thousands, hundreds of thousands of these beautiful ascended masters that are now walking the earth with us. And they're just here to help continue the message of the divine family members, and to help awaken and help everyone remember. Oh, and Susan, your Teresa was there. She came. I recognized her with the roses. And I made a note. I'll let Susan know you're here. So look for the roses. She'll probably find you. And oh, I don't know, you guys, it was really special. They weren't here because of an emergency, you know. I mean, they're not the result of something, or even to prevent something, but they are here to awaken and remind the divine family members of where they came from and what the ultimate mission was. But they're everywhere. So they're going to be walking among us. It was lovely. It was lovely. So Sharon.
Okay. Weaving. So here's what we're weaving with. I can't remember which circle it was. It might have been Time Traveler Guardians, where I really felt to go to the original 7 families in the galactic world and reaffirmed their original missions of good, affirmed that, and as a collective bind them, to kind of bless them with stronger boundaries and more awareness of boundaries than they had before. So that's what I mean by binding them, not tying them up, but really saying this is who they are, period. This is what they're going to experience, period. So what came to mind was to do the same thing into the future. So here's the 7 families and their energy of their original agenda, which is what they chose. That's their right. They've already chosen healing and good. So bind it there, but then go into the future, I don't know how far, and bind it there. And so here are these 2. And I went, whoa, okay. So they're vibrating back and forth now. And then they had me do some sounding on it to let the vibrations connect. And I went, oh, this is very cool. And then I realized that up here, it's like they're both present in today. And it's not time and it's not past and present. It's right here, right now. And the energy from home then feeding them was coming down like this. And it was like, whoa. And then they were broadcasting this way. And then all of a sudden it was like, so now bind the 7 galactic families here in the present moment, because we're all part of one of them. And so claim it for this present moment. And so that this whole energy is now vibrating and weaving, if you will, from the original. So it's not the past trying to get to the future. It's not the future trying to impact the past. It's like it's all happening right here and right now. And so that's what I did. So, it feels to me like it's not a feeling of resignation with what's going on in the world, because it's not that at all, but it's a feeling of, and it's not confidence we're going at all that either. But for me, it's more of maybe that gentle allowance is a good way to say it. I'm not worried. I'm not nervous. Whatever comes in that gentle allowance is going to come. We've done amazing, and we will continue to do that. And this one moment in time, when I'm talking about the elections, of course, this one moment in time is not going to define our work. It's not going to define us, and it's not going to define our future. So that's kind of, what I saw, but also where I am today. So thank you. Anybody want to add something to the mix before we anchor it all and send it out there? Okay. So let's just each of us hold our piece and see it weaving with all the other pieces here, anchoring it in ours. The codes, the programs for that to occur, we call for that design to be anchored. All that's in the plan for the manifestation, for the broadcasting to go out, Tesla towers, Phoenix rising structures, in any way we may or may not know, broadcasting it out. It is now owned, designed, anchored, and activated. And so it is. Okay. Until we meet again, much love to all of you. And there's something brewing, but I'm not sure what it is. So all I know is there's something brewing. Okay, love to you guys.
What are you feeling when you say something's brewing? What do you say?
It's almost like I wanted to say that this is the next, and I don't know what that is. And that's just all of a sudden I'm going like, oh, something's brewing. I don't know what it is, but I wanted to say like, and I didn't have anything to say there, but there's something.
You feel bubbling up. All right. Well, when you figure it out, don't hold back.
I'll call a meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Full moon rising this week, so.
Okay. Bye, loves.
Bye.